guys, welcome back to the director's commentary on Masters of the Universe Classics. I'm Scott, Toy Guru Neitlich, the brand manager for 90% of the line, and throwing this little kind of abbreviated intro because if you're watching this in 2024, my channel got overrun by fraudulent copyright claims, so some of these MOTUC Classic director's commentaries are a little out of order. So hopefully we're back on track now, and we're going with the next figure that everyone's wanted and waited for. Okay, not Dial-A-Mug, but Dial-A-Mug did come, though not from Mattel. We're talking about the mistress of roses and flowers, Perfuma. Perfuma. Not a figure I was actually that attached to, because not a character my sister had when I was a kid. I kind of had a special connection to the toys she had, because I would steal them and put them with my He-Man figures, especially when she got an extra She-Ra for her birthday. But yeah, most of the Princess of Power figures, as I've said many times, are based on a archetypal female, call it fantasy, be it, and in this case, flowers. And I'm fantasy by, I mean, fairies and mermaids and cats, flowers, themes. Maybe I call it themes. Themes would be a better way of putting it. Female girl themes. So you have, the warrior, the mermaid, the flower. And that's very much how most toy lines for boys and girls are designed, is they take themes and apply it to secondary characters. Now, Perfuma had the ability to create, flowers, which is why she is a very girly character. I mean, let's face it, most boys don't enjoy getting flowers for their birthday. Some do. Not saying, you can't. But yeah, I mean, this figure, is in pink with giant rose petal accessories. You kind of don't get more of a girl's figure in a boy's line more than this. I guess I just think she's the most girly of all the Princess of Power figures. Boy, I'm going to get, canceled over making these remarks, right? All right. So what? She's a female figure. She's covered in flower petals. And the petals were actually really nice in the vintage figure because, they were made of cloth and it was part of her outfit. Obviously, in classics, we didn't go with cloth at all. We wanted to have consistency. So everyone looked the same. And luckily, because we had access to the style guide from '87, we were able to do Perfuma in her kind of Filmation-esque look. Or at least, all the POP characters. I mean, by the time we got to Perfuma, we had rights to Filmation. But to be consistent, all of the characters were based on the '87 style guide, so there would be a consistent look. The idea was maybe eventually we would get, we would refresh Perfuma and do like a soft goods version like all the POP girls. And what accessories she was going to come with, well, again, this was, there were a lot of options. And I actually wasn't at Mattel at this time. This was after I had left. I think if I had been there, I would have pushed for kind of a flowers for Hordak sort of, this was like her biggest episode in POP, and Hordak gets, a lei of flowers, like, in Hawaii, and that would have been cool, but I guess people can just make their own. But I think if I'd still been at Mattel, I would have really been pushing for this as an accessory, because it became kind of part of MOTU pop culture. And, obviously, I think the less said about the revision of the POP show that came out years later, but that was well after Classic. So we don't even need to kind of acknowledge that show. We can just look at the vintage material. So she got a new bio, Tara, named after a girl I dated in high school who loved getting flowers. And, she came out great. She obviously looks a lot different than the vintage figure simply because of so much soft goods in both the accessories and the outfit. But to me, I kind of look at her more as like a nature character. She could hang out with Moss Man and, do kind of wood stuff. And, with all of her flowers, she hypnotizes the horde and, gets them to do marching bands and put flowers around their necks. I mean, come on. It was a classic episode. It was like it's kind of the only episode she's known for. Again, which is why I think it would have been cool to have an accessory based on that one. But while she isn't one of the main POP characters from the opening kind of arc, she is very important, especially to completing the POP line, which is something we really worked hard to do. Not all the variants, but at least original characters. So Perfuma being one of the very final ones to complete this. I think we had a couple left, but we were almost done, and it was time to party like you're a POP gal, because, man, getting to all of the original characters from POP was huge. I mean, this was, I didn't know if we were ever going to get to that, but it was something we really promised, and the fans came through. It's because of you guys, because of the customers for supporting the line that it happened. I mean, 150%. It's all on the fans and the customers for making this character happen. So while we never got to a soft goods, rooted hair version, like we would have liked to do for all the POP girls in time, I'm glad we did at least, again, complete the collection, because to me, it's a promise when you put out a figure of a full shelf. Now, one thing I would have also pushed for I think remained is I would have done more scented than just her accessory. Scented figures are kind of a big thing, like Stinkor or Mossman. They're done by grinding up the scent into the plastic. So Stinkor's patchouli was ground up into the liquid plastic, the same way it was done in the vintage day. So exact same procedure. So while that was a bit of a miss, giving her more of a scent, hey, I think we still dodged a big bullet not having to acknowledge the new show.